I started playing hockey when I was around 3 or 4. I started playing because my sister played hockey and she's older than me, and I went through a phase where I wanted to do everything she wanted to do. And my older brother played hockey as well, and my dad played, so it was kind of in the family. And so I started playing for the Parma Flyers. I left around squirts and I went and played for the Cleveland Barons. It was an all-boys team at the time. I made the switch to girls hockey and I started playing for the Ohio Flames, which was an all-girls team at the time. So I played with them for about 3 years, and I actually played with Erin and Elise during that time, so I got to know them pretty young. So I had some Division I looks. After a couple things fell through with the Division I teams, I kind of just threw in the cards. I was like, I need to focus on my schooling. And my sister, she had joined an Army ROTC program at the University of Michigan, which is kind of ironic. But I'd always had an idea as well that I wanted to go into the Army. And so I saw what she was doing and I was like, that looks like something I could do, something I'd want to do. And so I applied for their scholarship and I got their scholarship. And I applied to OSU independently, not as a student athlete, and I got accepted.
When they were looking for a goalie a couple years back to come practice with us and kind of try out on the team, when they picked Lynsey Wallace, I was like, oh God, they picked the right person. Like, that was the smartest decision they could have ever made.
When we were growing up, it was like, yeah, that 99 goalie that plays for the Barons, like, we need her on our team. Ever since I known her, she was just, all she did was work hard. Like, I catch ourselves sometimes, we're like, have morning lift, we're like, we're so tired. And she's waking up every day at 5 in the morning and trekking through, like, running miles with backpacks on her back.
We have a lot of early mornings. We always like to call it bright or dark and early. It's not bright and early, it's dark and early. We have workouts at 5:50 in the morning on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I don't know how she does it. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, ugh, another 7 a.m. workout, when really I have to put into perspective that there's other people on this team, aka Lynsey Wallace, who are up at 5 a.m., 4:45 every morning, like, doing extra work. I expect nothing less from her though. I mean, growing up with her, she's always been that type of person, to work hard, do her job, and just not complain about it. And that's the kind of people you want on your teams.
I think that's the best part about her. She doesn't complain. She just works her tail off every day, and whether she's getting nice time or not, she's a huge, huge part of our team, and she makes us better in practice.
The girls and the culture on our team, I love it. Like, I couldn't imagine it making friendships different than like any other friendships that I've made on this team, and I'm so grateful for it, and I will forever hold on to them.
I think I started skating when I was like 2 with my older brother, Luke. I came from a family with primarily all boys older than me. I have 2 older cousins that started playing hockey, and then my older brother started playing hockey, and then from there, it's just, I wouldn't stop talking about hockey. When my brothers would go to school, I would go in the basement and dress up in their hockey equipment and then go out, rollerblade around in my backyard. So freshman year, I came to camp here and I met the coaches. I met Nate and Keith and Carson down here. Erin and I went here. That's where I met like Emma Malte, Liv Soares, and we started a really good friendship way back then. From then, we went the next summer, top 40 camp here. And at the end of the camp, Nate Handrahan offered Erin and I a spot on the team. So from there, we committed on the same day. It was a really cool experience to share with her.
I remember sitting in those stands right there and just thinking like, oh my God, we are gonna go to school together here.
Junior year, I played with Erin on a team out in Connecticut because the Ohio Flames folded, who we used to play for. So we would spend weekends, every weekend in the car, driving out to Connecticut, Boston, all the way on the East Coast.
I have a great story from my first interaction with Remo.
I remember I hadn't known Erin. Our families have known each other, our parents have known each other for a while, and it was one of those times where my dad was like, all right, well, we have to go to a first communion party. I'm like, have no idea who it is. I'm like, all right, I'll go.
And this was when I was going through a little hard time because I was a tomboy, right? So I didn't want to wear the white dress. I didn't want to dress up and do my hair. I wanted to wear sweatpants to my first communion, but of course I wasn't allowed.
I mean, my parents couldn't get me out of anything other than long shorts and a t-shirt, so I'm assuming I looked like a little boy.
This girl comes over my house, and they're all playing in the basement. We have like a concrete walls, so you know, you can play hockey down there.
And this little girl comes down and she's wearing a dress and she wants to play with the boys in the room. I'm like, yeah, you can't come in here.
She comes up to me with a hockey stick, puts it right here, pins me against the wall and goes, "You're a girl, get out."
She says I choked her with a hockey stick. I don't really remember if I choked her.
And I was like, ran up to my room crying. I'm like, oh my God, like this girl's so mean, she's a girl. And moral of the story, I did not like this girl for a couple weeks. 2 weeks later, we go over to their house. I'm in my sweatpants. We go outside, play some hockey, and that was the beginning of a very, very long friendship.
I remember when we were really little, people thought Erin and I were sisters at first, and then it would be like, no, we're not sisters. They're like, next year, like, oh yeah, they're cousins. And we're like, not cousins either. And it was probably our last year playing together. They realized we're just friends.
They're goofy. I remember that from the very first time I stepped in the locker room with them. Elise is hilarious. She always has been, still is today. And Erin and Elise are just kind of like that sister. They always have that bond going where they're able to like pick on each other, mess around with each other, and make just the whole entire locker room laugh. And it's still that way today. So some things don't change.
The best part for me is having like 23 sisters with me every single day. Getting to go out and practice with them all the time. I still catch myself, sometimes I like look at my jersey and just see a black O on my chest and it just doesn't feel real. Even when I'm walking across campus and I just think to myself, like I catch myself stopping and I think, wow, like I'm really at Ohio State and I'm really learning at the best university in the world, and getting the chance to play hockey here is just a dream. Like, this does not feel real.
Growing up a Buckeye, we'd watch every football game together, hopefully make it to at least one game a year. So it kind of started around football, with my grandfather playing here. So that's kind of where it started. He met my grandmother here and they got married. And then my brothers played hockey. They got that from my dad. My dad played club hockey here. I have aunts and uncles that have gone here, cousins that have gone here. So it's just the whole legacy of the family. It all comes back to being a Buckeye. My first memory of hockey was, I was probably 6 years old, Christmas morning. I open a gift and it's a American Girl doll box, and I'm like low-key like pretty pissed about it. I'm like, I want some hockey skates. So I open the box and there's a pair of figure skates, and that was like all hell broke loose. I'm like, I can't wear these, I need some hockey skates. Seeing the culture kind of transform from when I was first recruited to now is just like incredible. And it makes me really happy that I've been part of the change here, and hopefully the change that is going to continue for a while.
I remember coming here when I was little and we would watch the games, and it would be like kind of not even really a game sometimes when they'd play Minnesota or something like that. So seeing how the girls come in and help change this program has been remarkable.
It is truly a privilege to be on this team and be a part of that change. That idea and mindset of we're gonna win and we're gonna show everyone that we aren't to be taken as a joke, or we're not gonna be taken lightly or anything like that. Like, we are a threat to you guys. That's just kind of been our mindset, and that was our mindset last year, and it's continued on.
So we do have a little bit of time, which makes me sad saying, because my time is coming to an end, but I don't think it's hit me yet. I try to take every day one step at a time, appreciate every practice, every lift, every video session. By the time I leave, I just want to, this might sound cheesy, but just be an example for the leaders that are yet to come. I looked up to Jules and Springer and Katie Matheny and Bree Grant because they were leaders when the program was going through its turmoil. So whether I'm playing or not, I just want to be that role model and that leader, and make sure the girls are on track, make sure they're focused, and make sure our team mentality is kind of there. And I want to be someone that future leaders can come and talk to and get advice from, and get some guidance, because I think that's a huge part of kind of being a leader on the team is what have other leaders done that you can learn from, and what can you do better.